Hello everyone, today this is Shane aka Big Shaz, and as you can see my beard is as red as my shirt, so that's why I wear the shirt. And today we'll be talking about why money is important. And I think we all know what kind of like money does and why it's important, but I'm going to do like more of an in-depth analyzation of why money is really important in everyone's lives, especially in America, Europe, those countries, China. Money is super important, especially for your future. And yes, money can buy you a boat, and hopefully some of my audience got that reference, but if you didn't, that's from a song. But it can buy you items and buy you things, but it can also buy you financial freedom and other things like that. We'll go into more in-depth analysis about that stuff, but the first thing I want to talk about is my first point, which is money can buy you the necessities of life. So what this entails is water, shelter, and food. These things are a godsend, because if you want to live in the world, you got to have those things. So money can buy you those things. That's what most people use money for these days. It's kind of sad, but that's what people get to that one level, and then they really don't have anything left over. But as long as you have enough money to afford your essentials, you're in the right track. Hopefully you're not always stuck in that one tier, but that is a good first step. If you can afford all your essentials like shelter, which is usually rent, food, which is groceries, and then water, which I mean can be included in rent or it's a utility bill. And then with I think also like a necessity is also electricity too these days, so especially in America. So yeah, you have to afford those things to get to the first tier. And point number two with why money is important is you can use money as a tool. And what this entails is you can get loans that are a lot bigger than what you actually make. So like let's say you get like a $100,000 loan for whatever reason. Let's say you're buying like a building or something, and you pay $10,000 for the down payment. You can use that money as a tool to get that loan. And yes, you will have to pay out that loan eventually, but you did use money as a tool to get that loan. So this is kind of like more of like a tier 2 type of thing. You can get like loans. You could also start investing, make your money work for you. That's what I kind of want, was money as a tool. Money really is a tool. Think of money as kind of like an asset or a thing to get assets, because at the end of the day, you want stuff that can make money for you, not for somebody else. You want stuff to make money for you. So assets are a great thing, like buying a building, buying a car, or whatever. Apartment complex is a great thing. But use money as a tool, and this will actually lead into my third tip, which is to leverage your money. With a loan, I said before, you can leverage your money to, you won't ever have to pay another dime on that loan again. Because let's say you bought like a little apartment complex for, $100,000 or maybe $200,000, because the market's so up now. Let's say you bought one of those for about 20 grand for the loan, and let's say it's like a 8-room apartment or whatever, or apartment complex. You rent each out one of those rooms for, let's say, lowballing it, 500. And loans typically run between like 4.5% to between 7 or even 8%. So honestly, 4,000, you could probably easily cover that with 2,000. Let's do the math real quick. So yeah, with a loan with $200,000, and it's a 15-year fixed rate over, 8%, it's $1,900. So you're making $2,000 into your account just by renting out that building just for 500. And you could probably charge way more than that depending on where you live. So, but you also, a big apartment complex may cost a lot more than that. So, give and take what you can. But never settle for not using your money as a tool or a leverage. Always think outside the box. This is why people like Graham Stephan, he has millions of dollars in debt. But here's the big thing. It's all on real estate. So he's making money by having that debt. He's playing the big game, the big picture. Now you see like people like Dave Ramsey say, oh, never be in debt. Well, clearly some people can pull it off by being in debt. Now, Dave Ramsey, he did get screwed over by a bank, because when he did have debt, like over like $1 million in debt when he was starting out, his bank got bought by another bank, and they're like, oh, let's close this out, okay? So that's why he has a really negative effect on, or a viewpoint on debt, because he got screwed hard, like royally screwed. Like he got basically a train ran on him by this new bank that bought the other bank, because they're like, oh yeah, let's just say he owes it now. And then his other bank told him that too after they saw that. So he actually probably owed like $2 million, in which he did not have. He had it all tied up in real estate, which he couldn't get out of. So yeah, but those things aren't likely to happen. But usually, if you're doing real estate, you're doing pretty well off anyway. So you can play the big game. Just make sure you're smart about it. And with my point number 4, money can also bring power. Now, this may be a more controversial point, but the more money you have, the more powerful you really are. No, I'm not saying you'll be the king of a country or anything, but like small businesses looking for investors, and you invest that money, you have a lot of influence in that company, depending on how much of a stake you have in it. And with more money, you also have more options when it comes to buying really anything. Instead of like taking out a loan for maybe a car, you can just buy it outright, which would be fantastic, because that saves you money actually than just doing a loan. Now, I'm not saying getting a loan is bad. It's actually good for your credit if you're on it. But if you have the money and you're gonna have good credit, just buy the damn thing. There's no point in waiting. There really isn't. And if you have that kind of money, you have financial freedom, which will actually lead into my 5th point, which is money will lead you to financial freedom. And this should be everyone's goal, hopefully, is to be financially stable without working a day in your life ever again. But you may be asking,
well, Shane, what is financial freedom?
Well, I got the definition for you, which is having a financial cushion, savings, investing, or in cash, to afford a certain lifestyle. And this usually goes for about 24 months, people like to say, so 2 years that you can basically afford your living right now. That is financial freedom, to have that much money to afford 2 years if something, God foresays, something does happen, You are good for 2 years. That is financial freedom. But financial freedom is also open for interpretation. Now, if someone's financial freedom definition may be different than yours. Let's say mine is, I want to be able to retire at 50. That's my financial freedom, because I'll have enough money saved up by then to retire, and then I won't have to ever work a day in my life, even though I probably will, because I'm a very bored person if I don't do something. And let's say Joe Mama financial freedom is to retire when they're 60, but they'll still work part-time. Like they'll retire from their full-time job and then do part-time. Maybe that's their financial freedom. It's different for everybody. But if you use money smartly, financial freedom can be achieved by anyone. Anyone can do this. Anyone can do their own financial goals. You can achieve financial freedom maybe in your 20s, 30s, or whatever, depending on what you are and what your goal for financial freedom is. Now, if you're starting out in the world like me, like I'm only 20 and I'm still in college, basically with the whole saving up for 2 years thing, do not make that a goal right now. If you're in college especially, just do a $500 emergency fund and you should be good. And just put that aside. Don't even act like it's there until you or whatever needs it. I've had mine for about 2 years now. I don't even touch it because there's no point. It's there for emergency, and no emergencies happen yet. So thank you all for watching the video today. I'm hoping the videos are starting to get a little bit better. I'm trying to put in a lot of work. This week's been kind of a down week for me though, because it's just, I don't know, I just not been in the mojo like I've been. With school coming up and all that, with work kind of being super stressful right now. Yeah. Oh, and there's Lily. She's gonna say hi. She's on this side. My bad. There you go. I guess I'm Lily at the end for you, but I'm hoping everyone's starting to enjoy the summer. I am gonna actually do some more college videos up until college starts, because hey, people may need some college advice. But I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. And then please like, share, subscribe, comment if you hate me. Just comment how much you hate me, please. I will just read it and just be deterred to ever make a video again. But thank you. Lily says thank you, and I love you all. Peace.